This is the morning of the 1st of August, 2024. Thomas Crooks, we know, was a terrible shot. He couldn't make the school shooting team. And I've spoken about this in previous other videos. You would never use an EOTech red dot to try to hit a tiny object 150 yards away. And the reason that is that the red dot itself would cover pretty much the entire subject. So for Thomas Crooks to have been able to take a headshot, to me, makes zero sense. Here's another thing that I noticed. The AR-15 that Thomas Crooks used didn't have a bipod. So he was shooting it offhand. He wasn't resting it on the ridge of the roof from what we've seen from other animations. He was shooting it offhand. Being a lousy shot to begin with, not having a bipod to stabilize the gun, and using a red dot, this whole thing smells of an absolute false flag event. You don't believe me? Go take an AR-15 to a gun range, set up a target at 150 yards the size of a head, and see if you can finesse a shot using an EOTech red dot. You can't do it for the reasons I already stated. I have one. I did a video where I showed you my AR-15, a Patriot ordnance, with a bipod, with an EOTech red dot. And I've shot literally thousands of rounds through that weapon. And it's a very accurate weapon at 100 yards. But you can't put a hole in a hole because you can't see the hole with the red dot. How do I know? I just told you how I know. So this whole thing, I think, was a botched setup, which is what they usually are. No different than at Parkland, where you got 4 cops, what appear to be cops, leaving a side door of an active shooting scene, carrying a large duffel bag. What do you think's in a large duffel bag, being carried by 2 officers, one at either end? I'll tell you what's in it. What's in it are their other AR-15s, their helmets, their face shields, and the rest of the paraphernalia that they were wearing. Stacy LaPelle, a school teacher, testified to Congress. What did Congress do about it? Nothing. Zero. And the perpetrator is going to spend, the reported perpetrator is going to spend the rest of his life in a federal prison for something that I believe he did not do. He was an absolute patsy. No different than Terry Nicholas. Terry Nicholas was involved. He actually thought that his ammonia-filled fertilizer truck caused the damage that was caused at the Murrah building. Problem is, the Murrah building blew out. It didn't blow in. Another problem was that within the Murrah building, they found unexploded ordnance. How do you get ordnance into a federally controlled building? Well, if you're the government, you can do anything you want. Terry Nicholas was executed. And again, he was involved in it. But his truck didn't cause the damage that was caused to that building. I could go on and on and on, but you sort of get the picture, don't you? No different than 9/11. It couldn't have happened the way they said it happened. I just read an article where the perpetrators, they say are the perpetrators on 9/11, the ones that planned the event, they've just taken the death penalty away from them, and they've agreed to plead guilty. Now, I believe that they were involved in planning it, no different than Terry Nicholas was involved in planning it. But They too are government patsies. They need someone to throw the blame on. No different than Route 91. They need someone to throw the blame on. And what they did at Route 91 to get a high rate of fire is they had bump stocks. Problem is, bump stocks sound totally different than belt-fed machine gun fire. And I've done countless videos on it. And if we had an honest government that we could go to, we could demand an investigation. But we don't have an honest government, do we? There'll be no link attached. Let me know what you think. You sure as hell know what I think, don't you?